load, and meanwhile I'll start this instance. And the second thing, I'm just logging into GitHub account. So you just type it, login. I have already created my own account. So I'm just logging to that account, and okay. So you also can log into your account. Okay. So I have logged into my account, and this is my account. It will look like this. This is the dashboard here, and this is the actually front view of this GitHub account. If you don't know anything here, we will talk about everything. Okay. So just for your first thing, we need to understand here what is GitHub account. Okay. So GitHub is the cloud-based account where you can manage your repositories. And if you are thinking what are the repositories is, let me share one presentation with you, and we'll see. So I have one presentation. So we will see what is repository is. In GitHub, we have called repositories, and a Git repo is a workplace where or which tracks and manage files within a folder. Okay, it means let's say you created your own project. Okay, and in your project you have multiple files, except multiple files including text files or any type of files you have. You want to keep those files in any of the central repository where it will be accessible to your team members. Okay, because you are not only the one who are working in this project, you have a multiple members. They also want to access the same files and all, so they can update the files. Okay, so what you need to do here, you have to create a repository. You can push those push those files to the repository, which is a central repository. It means central repository means anyone can access from their systems. They have to just authenticate, and then they can access those repository files. Okay, so anytime we want to use Git with a project, app, etc., we need to create a new Git repositories. We can have as many as repositories on our machine as needed, and all with separate history and content. This is called repositories. So it's similar to the folders. So you can have multiple folders. You can create multiple folders. You can create the GitHub there. And then how actually, let's see how to create the repositories, how to see the repositories. So this is my GitHub account. Here in the top right corner, there is an option. This is the option which is showing you your username and all. So in this section, we have a few we have few what we call it, just points. So first is your profile. So your profile is just nothing but it's just your profile, which will show you your profile, what you're working on, and what are the repositories are, how you push the repositories now. Okay, and second option, if you see, this is called your repositories. So it will tell you how many repositories you are having. So if I click on this repositories, you can see these are all repositories there in my GitHub account. Okay, so this is called GitHub repositories, and you even can search for any repository from here. You can find the repositories. Let's say if I want to search for Maven, so if I search for Maven, so I'll get this all repositories which I earlier created for my use cases. Okay, so these are the repositories. Let's say you don't want to use existing one. So follow me how I create the repositories. This is the option. It will show you total number of repositories. And right now I have 90 total number of repositories in my GitHub account. Okay, and if I want to create a repository, new repository, so here is the option new. Okay, so you need to click here new, and once you will click on this new option, it is asking you the repository name. So let's say I'm just giving you demo repository. Okay, so you can just give any name here. So I'm just giving you demo repository. Below there is an option called description. In this description, you can mention why you actually are creating this repository. So for demo purpose, right? I can write the description here. Okay, am I
So
audible, right?
now repository means it is like a combined database, sir, for code for coding.
Yeah, correct. So if you want to keep your all files there, like it's like a folder. You are creating a folder where you can keep all your files related to the project.
Okay, sir. So it is like a cloud, but it is only used for okay, like for coding, like
Yeah,
for folder purpose.
yeah. Cloud means it is not in your local system. It is on the server, and the server is on cloud, right? That's
Okay.
why we call it cloud or based repositories. It is not in any of the cloud. I'm not talking about a cloud means you can hire any cloud service provider. It is a cloud service. Why? Because you are keeping your all files on a central repositories. Central repository means what? It means centrally you can manage. Any, it means everyone can access your files from anywhere, right? If you give the access to that person. So
Okay.
that is called central repositories. And
Okay, sir, I got it. Sir, so you mean means normally folders we only can access to the machine which the folder is there. But
yeah,
right now, if we create a folder, we can access the folder from multiple machines.
yeah, this is called central repositories. And folder means your files, project files, nothing else. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, see, the description is done. Now, below that, we have a two options, public and private. So, what is the difference between public repositories and private repositories? So, if you create public repositories, means anyone on the internet can see this repository, right? So, let's say you created a one file and you push that file to this repository. And if you want to see that file by anyone, you can create that repository as a public repository. Okay, so that is called public. It means anyone can see that repository files. Private means you only will be able to see that who has login, who has credential to that file, who has administrator to that repositories. That person only will be able to see those files or folders. Correct. So I'll show you. First we will create public one, and later we will see few more options. So I'm just selecting public here, and the description I have already given. Repository name is also I have given. Okay, and next thing is initialize this repository with. So this option means it will by default create a file called readme file. And why we use this readme file? README file is just for your description of project. Means, let's say you created one project or you created one code, which basically add two numbers. So what description you want to write for that code, you can write in this README file. You can make understand to the person who want to access this repository, and you can write those instructions inside this README file. Or let's say, let's take another example why we create this README file. We create this readme file to write the prerequisite steps to execute this project files. Okay, so somebody in your organization let's say you are working in in an organization, and your team or another team has created one project, and that project can be run on Windows system or Linux system or Mac systems. So what is the prerequisite to execute to before executing that project? It means what you need to install. Let's say you want to install, you have to install Java, you have to install Maven, you have to install anything, any software. So all those instructions can be right in this README file. So it's important to have README files by or any of the project, any of the repository which you create. So I'm just gonna create this, right? Okay. Now there is one more file that is called .gitignore file. .gitignore file, why we need it? You will understand it later. But if you want to create a .gitignore file, you have to select what type of project you are creating. Let's say I select Java here. So select the Java. Okay. And you will understand why we create this .gitignore file later. But just for now, select Java here. I'm supposing we're gonna create a Java project. That's why I selected Java. But if you are not creating Java based, you can write Python as well. So whatever type of project you're gonna create, you can just write it. So I'm just gonna create a Java type of project. So select a Java. Choose a license. So we don't need to select the license right now because we don't have any license for us. So that's the option. You don't need to select it. You can just keep it none. Okay, and that's all. So now you just click on this create repository button. So you will see that here it is created. Okay, it is created. So now this is my repository. What is this? This is my repository. And if you see this readme file, readme.md file, what description I kept there? For demo purpose. So the same description coming to this file as well. If I show you this file, this is the content for this file, readme.md file. It means you can write the description for your project. You can write the prerequisite steps for the project, anything in this file. So right now, how many files I have right now? 2 files, .gitignore and readme.md file. Got it? Now, if you see this option called main, so this main is called branch. Branch means, let's say you are part of project. You are part of a project where multiple members are there. Let's say you are total 5 members, and all 5 members are working on different features. Got it? So different features means any project can have different features. Like let's say I have a type of project called Flipkart. Okay, so let's say I'm taking an example of Flipkart. So have you ever seen this Flipkart website? What they have multiple features, like you can select the items. Okay, you can filter the items as well. You can sort the items according to the pricing. All these features are there, right? Correct. So these features can be upgraded with the time. It means initially when they release the Flipkart application or Flipkart software, or like whatever you use that. So for that, actually what the person have done, so they have just created a simple Flipkart application, but later with the time they upgraded the features, right? Let's take an same example in our case also. Let's say you are working in a team where where you have total 5 members, and you all are working on a project, and you and your team members are working on different features on different features. So this is central repository. It means you all can't push at the same time the code to this, right? So first you need to use your own local system to create those features or to create the code. And once you will verify and validate that code, whether this is working or fine or not, this is working perfectly fine or not. So if it is working perfectly fine, what you will do, you will create a new branch. You will not push directly to the main branch, because this main branch is a branch
So what
which
is push means like what is
you
means
will
like
understand. You will understand. Just I will come to this point.
okay.
Push means in local system. Let's say you are working in a project and you have your own local system where you have written your code, right?
Okay.
It means all members would have their own systems, and
Mm.
they will write the code on their own systems in local systems. Let me tell you how. Let's say in our case, I'm just taking an example. Okay, so in our case we have this machine, and I will SSH to this machine. Let me refresh it. So understand, this is very important, Aditya. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me right now, and I will basically happy to answer your questions or queries, whatever you have. Okay, so we are now in the VM, and let's suppose this is my VM. This is my VM. This is not your VM. Okay, and as a developer, what is my task? My task is to write the code for any application, whatever application you have. For that application, I need to write the code, correct?
Okay.
So to write the code, I will use my own local system, right? I have to write on my own local system. But before that, let's say somebody has created some files already. Already there, some in this project, there are few files is already there. So if you want to use those all files, what you can do in this repository, so you can click on this code option, and there is an option called clone. This is called clone. So you can clone this repository and you can use that. But we will come to this point later. But let's say there is no files created. I'm from the scratch creating a project. So let's give the name, create a directory called project, right? Create a directory called project. It's already there, no issues. I think the project is already there, correct? So the project directory is already there. I will go inside this directory, inside this project directory, and I will see there is a one file, file1.txt. Let's say, let's suppose here, this is my project, and in this project, I have this file, file1.txt. Let me see the content for this file one. So this is the content for this file1.txt. Getting my point? What I'm saying here, this is my project, and in this project, I have this file. But in real time, you will have multiple files. But right
Yes.
now, for just demo purpose, let's suppose this is my project, and in this project I have this one file. I want to push that project or project files to my repository. So how can I push that? So for that, we have some basic git commands. There are two things here. One is git and second is GitHub. GitHub is cloud-based central repository. GitHub is cloud-based central repository where you can centrally manage your all project files. And what is Git then? Git is a tool which can be used to manage those repositories from the local system. Got it? Yesterday, I mean in the yesterday we installed Git, if you remember, in our local systems.
Mm.
So Git basically we can use to manage all those repositories, whether it is locally or centrally, remote. Basically, whatever repository you have in this called remote repositories, because it is available remotely for me. It's not my local system, right? So whatever repository you have locally or remotely, you can manage through Git tool. So that's why we installed yesterday Git, and I can see the version also, Git version. So this is my Git which I have installed. If you don't have, you can't manage the files. You can't push those files to that repository. Now the thing is, let's say I created my project. I have my own files. I want to push those files to the remote repository. Remote repository means this repository which we created, that is called demo repo. How can I push those project files? So first thing is, first you need to initialize the git repository locally. So you need to use command git init command. And once you will initialize, it will show you that initialized empty git repository on this path. This is the path. And right now I'm the same path. So if you see, I can't see that file .git folder. Why? Because it is a hidden file. So to see the hidden files, I have to use what option? LA. So LA will show you this .git right now. Okay, it is coming. .git, wherever you see .git in any of the folder in your system, it means that is a git repository files. That is a git repository files. It means you have initialized a git repository there. So once you will initialize the git repository here, we need to check the status basically. So I will check the status right now. So I have checked the status, and the status is showing me, what is showing me?
On the
Sorry.
on branch master it is.
Yeah, it is showing me basically there is a one file, that this is the one file, and this is called untracked files. These are untracked files. These are not tracking. It means you have to add this file with git add command to include what to be committed. It means see, to push the code to the remote repository, there are three commands. First, you need to initialize the git repository, that is git init. Second, you have to run git add command and file name to include it in a committing area. Committing area means you have to commit those files to the particular repository. You will understand it now. So first, let's add first. Okay, let's add it, and to add that file, you can use git add command and file1.txt. So I added those files. Now again check the status, what it shows. What it is showing right now? It is showing me change to be committed. It means we have added the file, and right now we just need to commit that to the remote repository. Okay, so to commit that, we have a command called git commit. There is an option you need to always pass -m and pass the comment, what you are doing here, what you are committing. So what we are doing here, we are pushing the file 1.txt, right? So this is just a comment, it can be anything here. So git commit -m and pushing the file 1.txt. So I did that, but before that it is showing me error. What are the errors? What is the error? So it is asking me, firstly you tell me who you are, because I have not configured my username and mail ID where I want to push that repository. So it is asking me, firstly you tell me who you are. So to do that, you need to run these two commands: git config and hyphen global user.email and your mail ID. So I'll just use this. So I'll just copy and paste it and change my mail ID, which I'm using to create my GitHub account. So I'll use this, my mail ID. So first you do that. Second command is your username. So that is also important to run. So just your name means your username. So what is my username here? Let me see that. So my username is Nitesh Sharma _9. Okay, so I'll just copy and paste.
Sir, we need to give the user email and username of the Git repository, means like the Git account, sir.
GitHub. Yeah, GitHub. Correct.
Okay.
Are you doing with me right now?
Uh, no, sir. Actually, it means like I have an issue with Google Cloud. I means I'll do it, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. You do it, and if you have any issues, right, you
Yes, sir.
can just let me know. So this is done. So we have configured it. Now again, let me commit it. So okay, now it is showing me one file changed, three insertion, one file changed and three insertions, and three insertions means three lines was there, right? That's why. And creating mode is showing me. Okay, create mode is showing me, and file name is also showing me. It means I have committed that file. So how to check whether it is committed or not? So again, get status. So is this showing you any files right now? There is no files, right? It is not showing any files right now. It means we don't have any files, right? Okay, we have committed that file. But committing means, if you are thinking committing means pushing, no. Committing means just we committed that this is the file, we want to push that to the remote repository. We just committed that. We have not actually pushed that. So to push that, first you check the branch, which is the branch right now. So what branch we are using here? Master. But if you see this option, if you see this GitHub repository, there is a main branch. There is no master branch. So if you try to push that directly, if I run push command, git push command, and here first it is asking where you want to push, because you actually directly can't push, right? Where you want to push it, you need to get the URL. So to get the URL, this is the command you can use: git remote add and your URL of your repository. Okay, I tell you how to add that. So git add, sorry, git remote add, and origin, and where you want to push that, git origin. Let's say main, on main branch I want to push that git origin. And what is the URL? So URL you need to get from here. This is the HTTP URL. You can just get it and use that. Okay, so I'll do that. Okay, I think I extra main is not required right now, so you can just remove this main here. Done. So remote add origin done. Okay, so this means we can now try to push, but again conflict will come, because right now we are on master, but actually there is no master in the remote repository. But try to push that, you will see. Okay, first it will ask you what is the username. So provide the username, because it will authenticate, right? So that's why you will authenticate username and then password. Okay, then it will push. But at the time of pushing, it will push on the different branch. Remember this, because I am on the master and there is a main branch. So if you want to push to the main branch, you have to cancel it and use this command: git push origin main, and then you just this 99 and my
What is the
password.
difference between main and master, sir?
I tell you, just a minute. Action failed. Just a minute. Let me use my username and let me use my password. Okay, it is showing authentication failed. but it's fine. I'll show you basically how to deal with this. We need to use one more option. Okay, what you are asking?
So
What is
what is the
definition?
main and master?
These are the branches. It means some systems will use master, some system will use main.
Means what is
But
branch? What?
branch, what is branch? So branch basically it's a feature in GitHub repositories where actually you can manage the code. It's like a different different what we can call it as a, let's say I told you. So if you are total 5 members and all 5 members are pushing the code to the same repository. So if you will try to push the same repository, always there will be conflict, correct? Always there will be conflict with the files. So what they actually do, they create different branches. Let's say my name is Nitesh and your name is Aditya. So you can create your own branch called Aditya, and you write all the code in this branch only, and you keep your all code in this branch. Once everything is validated and verified, then you can merge that code to the main branch, and directly from the main branch deployment can be done. Deployment means code deployment, software deployment can be done.
Yes.
Now got it? Something, I mean, if you are getting right now 50-70%, that is also fine, but later you will understand all these concepts. I know this is all new for you, but please let me know if you're not understanding. I can make you understand in a different way as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so got it right now. What is the branch?
Yes, sir. Means like we are just making a another means like another file.
Separate space. Yeah, separate space for the particular users, so they can push their own files.
Okay, so they can. Yeah, I got it, sir.
Hmm. So right now I'm just using main here, but there is no master. So by default, it create the main branch only. Okay. If you try to see this, this is called default. So default branch is main branch only. This is the main branch. And if you want to see all these branches, you can see from here. You can create the new branch from here. You can create the new branch from here, branch name and all. And but right now we don't want to create any branch. We also can create from local system also. But right now, what I'm saying, I have to authenticate. So to authenticate, I'm not gonna use password. I'm gonna use my tokens. So how to get token? So to get the token, go to your username, and there is an option called settings. Go to the settings. In the settings, there is an option at last called developer settings. Click on this developer settings, and there is a option called personal access token. So click on this personal access token, and there are two options: token classic and fine grained tokens. So we want to get classic tokens. Click on this classic tokens, and there is already two tokens I have created for Docker and this new token. So let me delete these two tokens. I don't want, or let it be. I'll create a new token here. So to create a new token, this is the option: generate new token. And
So what is the
classic
difference here?
token means it's an option to not to use password. Use the token to authenticate to the GitHub repository from your system.
Okay.
Oh, got it right? So
Hmm.
it means we don't want to use our password. We want to use this token so we can authenticate to the system.
Okay.
Got it? Let's say you are using Android phone or iOS phone, right? So
Hmm.
what are the options you have to log into this phone? Patterns, right? You can use pattern. You can
Hmm.
use pin also. You can use password also. So there are three options.
Okay.
Whatever you think, whatever the safe option is there, you can use that one. But here in case of GitHub, we don't want to use our password because password can be revealed to anybody in the team. So that's why it's better to use token. And token also has some specific permissions, like whatever the permission you want to uh, give this token. Let's say for this token, I just want to give permission to view the files, or to create the files, or to make changes to the files, or whatever the validity. So password by default don't have any expiration date, correct?
Mm.
Do your phone has phone password has any expiration date?
No, sir.
No, right? Right. So but tokens, whatever token you create, you can set the expiration date.
Mm.
It means whatever, like say I want to use this token right now for 24 hours, and after 24 hours it will expire. It's like a password only, correct? So I will use this now token. So I'm just giving the name for token, demo token, and then expiration date. So let's set 7 days. So minimum 7 days, and you can also customize it. But in my case, actually, I'm not setting any expiration date, because later also I will use the same token. That's why. And what are the permission you want to give to this? So right now I'm giving all those permissions. So it will work like a password only if I'm giving all these permissions.
Okay. Sir, when we create a token, so we can
Hmm.
also means like we can also put some permissions and restrictions for the other
Token.
people.
Yes, correct. That's correct. So these are the permissions. It means with this token, this repository can be committed, deployment and public repositories can be created, and these all our permissions are there with the token. So anyone can authenticate with this. So I'm generating a token. This is the token. It's like a password. It's like a string of alphabets, and I'll just copy this. But remember this thing: copy this token somewhere on safe place, and because right now, once you will create it, you won't be able to see it again. If you think I will just copy it and use it, and later also I can get the same token, no, you can't get it again. So it's better to keep it in your system somewhere on secure place. So maybe I'm just keeping it in Notepad for now. So later I can use it. So I'll just keep it here. This is my token, and this token I will use to authenticate this repository. So now I'll try to push again, and my username, yeah, double nine, and my token. So it is showing me there is no main does not match, because there is no branch right now. That's why it is showing me it's a mismatch. Let me do one thing. Let me just use directly git push command, and you will see what would happen. So let me use that, and my token, see this, what is showing me, everything is up to date. Password, username, uh, just a minute, what happened? Push default is on set. It's implicit validation. Okay, so let me run this. You don't need to run it, but in my case, actually, it is asking to run this. And now push. Authentication field. Okay. And let me copy this token. Everything is up to date. It means there is nothing to push. It is showing me. But let me see whether my uh, repository has that command is on that push, whether this pushed that file or not. So right now it is not actually yet pushed. So it is showing me everything is up to date, but it is not pushed. So what can be the reason here? Before that, I just want to ask you, is there any question you want to ask here?
No, sir.
Okay, no, that's great. So right now, let me cross check few things here. See, we have to troubleshoot it. Right now it is not showing me anything, but let me see whether I'm in the same directory or not. There are few things I need to check it. Git status, git status. It is showing me the branch master, nothing to commit, working directly clean, everything is clean. Okay, now I can see my git branch. Git branch, it is on master branch. Okay, now the next thing is we need to check git log, and I can see this help option here. So there is a command called git log. It will show you some logs. So I'll just see whatever I'm doing here. I can see the logs. So this is the push we have done. If I see my logs here, I'll show you the commit. One commit we have done from this account. Sharma99. Let me cross check my username as well. Sharma99. And pushing the files to this. This is the comment we did. And if the branch is not there. So the reason, let's use -app option and origin main. If I do this, and sometimes it works and sometimes not, but let's see. Source reference specification does not match anything, error to push this reference. Okay, got it. So here we need to just do one thing. There is a one hack to do this, to solve this error. Let me tell you what we need to do here. So I have this command with me. Just a minute. This config. So for this, let me copy and paste it on the Google, because there is a command which I have to run. You don't need to run anything, but in my case I have to run it. So the thing is, let me try to do this. Yeah, so this is done now. So I'm just running it forcefully to the main branch. Okay, so you can also use this option -force and master branch. So right now I'm pushing it to the master, and it is showing me it is complete. It is pushed to the master branch. It's a new branch actually. So once it will be done, you will see one new branch will be created. So one new branch will be created here. uh, here, if I refresh it, so you will see two branches. One is main, second is master. And the file which we pushed, that you will see on the master branch. Correct? So you are seeing it on master branch. Why? Because I created my own branch as a user. That is called master branch. I am not using main branch right now. I'm using master branch. But usually what happens, master and main branch, we should not use the name. I'm talking about the name. You should use a different name, like any feature branch name, feature one, feature two, feature three, like that, or maybe usernames, whatever your username is. So I have two branches, but I want to delete this branch. Okay. So how to delete this branch? So I can delete it directly from here also. So there is option all, view all branches, and I can delete any of the branch. Let's say I want to delete my main branch. So it is showing me you can't delete this branch because it is a default branch. Okay, fine. Let me try to rename, or maybe we can see everything from here. So I can try to delete this master branch. So if I try to delete this master branch from here, it is showing me deleted now. Deleted means right now I have how many branches? Let's see. So I have one branch again, but I deleted this branch, right? I deleted that branch. If I try to push this again with this option, main, so it is asking me, authentication field. So it is showing me right now you are on the master branch, but you are pushing on the main branch. So that's why it is a conflict. You can't do that. So to resolve this, we have a one more option here. Let me, if you really want to push directly on the main branch, in that case, let me run. So first, what I have to do here, I have to just create a new branch. So to create a new branch, this is the command: get a branch hyphen capital M and main branch. Okay. So I'll just use it here. So I'll just create a new branch. So it is done. Now let me check the branches. How you can change the branch. What branch I have right now? Main. Correct. Earlier it was master, but right now I'm on the main. Let me check the git status because I have to commit something. So let me create a file called git uh add, and this file one, it is already added. Okay, fine. So git branch. So these are the option. You can see hyphen m. To create the new branch. So we use hyphen m. If you want to use hyphen d option, you can delete that. So what I'm gonna do here, I gonna check out to master. Okay, so how to switch the branches? You also can see. D master. Sure. Okay. So let me check out main first, and let me delete this. Now git branch. I am on the main. Now git status. Few things you need to do here. There is a trick. So let me create one more file. Touch file 2.txt. So I created one file. Now check the status. So right now it is showing me another file is created, which is not a in the tracked file, which is a untracked file. So how
Sir,
to
if,
add this also?
now you created a file, no, sir. It will be in Git repository, sir, or else it will be in the virtual machine.
It will be in the virtual machine. It is in the virtual machine in the local Git repository. So we
Okay.
have two types of repository, local and remote. So if you see this is called remote repository, and right now I'm using local. So from here to remote, I need to push those files. And anytime you create any files, you have to first add, then commit, and then push. So I just created another file. Let me add this file 2.txt, and now check the status. Get status. Another file is created. Now you need to commit. So committing -m and give the comments. So pushing a new file. This is the comment. Once it is done, now you can do push. So get push origin. Where what is the origin? So origin is main branch. Okay. So if I try to push it, it is asking me the username again. So let's keep those username and the password, which password means this token, and this token I can. So it is showing me rejected main to main fetch first. Okay, so it is showing me first get all the updates from there. So for that we can use git pull command. Git pull command. So do first pull. Get pull we talk about tomorrow, but for now just to showing you, I'm showing you git pull remote and main.